Hello everyone, welcome to Dark Lotus Rising. This channel is about integrating our dark side and our light side to where we could step into the highest version of ourselves. It's about doing the shadow work. It's about examining our heart and going within to find our calling and to learn how to step into that calling to where we can better serve humanity and become our highest version. So today I wanted to talk about drifting, as mentioned in the book Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. I've been drifting a lot lately. I have been stuck in my head. I've been living in fear. I've been watching the news. I live here in the United States, and we're just being inundated with disinformation, fear, confusion, everything that's meant to divert us from paying attention to what is going on in our own heart and being able to affect positive change in the world. And today was one of those days. I kind of got smacked up with reality, and it's hard. It's really, really hard for so many people here. I am blessed. I do have a home currently, and there's so many people who are living in all kinds of insecurity. And I was there not too long ago, and I can really relate to what it's like to be in fear and not even know where your next meal is even going to come from. I left an incredibly painful relationship, and when I left, I was left with nothing. And I have a child, and me and my child were basically left to our own devices, and it was pretty scary. I mean, every day I had to wake up and pray with my kid and my little dog, and really, really step through the fear of insecurity and step through the fear of homelessness. And it was really scary there. But one thing I've learned is that when I pray, or when I'm stepping into what I recognize as my own inner truth, that I am taken care of. And the more that I was forced into my own insecurity, the more I persevered through it. And day by day, I was shown that as long as I'm being true to myself and following my own path with love and trying to do the best each day that I can, that I've been provided for. I've been provided for when I should have been harmed, but I wasn't. And I continue to rise. And so I have a lot of experiences in this lifetime, man. I have, much like the lotus flower, I have grown up in darkness, and I have gone through many, many levels of evolution of consciousness, and it's not been easy, but it has allowed me to relate to others who are, in those dark places, to where they can't see the light, they don't see the possibility, they can't even recognize their own truth. I've struggled with addiction, alcoholism, negligence, abuse, all kinds of things, and I guess I kind of want to share those experiences here on this channel to kind of offer support and love to anybody else out there who is facing insecurity and fear and shame and hurt and all of the things that make it hard to be human. Today I was talking with my eldest daughter, and she's reading the book Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill, which is a fantastic read. It is so good. I need to read that book again as soon as I get it back from her. But she brought up the fact that I have been drifting. I've been drifting away from my own calling, my own soul's purpose. I have been finding numerous excuses to not show up for myself and to not do the work, because sometimes it's just easier. It's easier to scroll, or pay attention to the news feed, or get lost in artificial intelligence, or, you know, just all of these distractions that we face on a daily basis. I mean, everything in the news cycle is meant to keep us in fear and confusion and disoriented, so that we don't look within our own heart, so we don't meditate and find out what it is that we're feeling and really address that, you know. And I guess that's why I'm here, because I know what that's like. You know, it's so hard in the United States to hear about all of the things that are going on. It's horrifying, actually. And if I pay too much attention to the outside world, I get lost in fear, and then I'm in inaction, and then I'm not doing anything to help anyone. And so today I made I guess I've renewed my vows to myself to not drift anymore, to finally have the courage to step out into my calling again. You know, I don't want to, I'm so shy, guys. It's really hard for me to be out here on a public platform. But that is what I feel in my heart is the best thing for me to do, is to get my message out. Because, you know, it isn't all about me. It's really not. It's about how can I help someone today? How can I let someone know that they're not alone? How can I encourage somebody else to step out into their calling, no matter what it looks like? You know, here I am with no makeup, and, you know, I'm just going to sit here and bare my soul to you, you know? Oh, man. Yeah, we're being led into fear. We're being led into insecurity. We're being led into lies, dishonesty, demoralization, you know. Politics works to strip us of our own dignity and reduce us into a state of inaction. And today I've decided not to do that anymore. And so I guess if anybody else is out there feeling this way, just know that you're not alone. You know, I encourage you to spend some time tonight in meditation and just look within your own heart and, you know, just kind of hang out there in that heart space until you get some messages as to, you know, what is your next best course of action. You know, because when we're in action, miracles happen. When we're reaching out and helping somebody else who has less than us, you know, and, you know, we're able to offer our support or our love or a meal or a hug or inspiration, you know, anything kind and loving goes a long way today. You know, we need to put more love into the world. There's so many people right now who have less than us. I mean, even if you don't think you have a lot, we have a lot more than many people right now. And so I would just encourage everybody and to look within, to hear your own voice, to hear your own calling, and decide to make a decision to not delay anymore. We need each other, guys. We need to step up the game. We need to move into action. We need to move through fear. We need to move through confusion. We need to move through these negative emotions that work to enslave us, okay? I refuse to be a slave to anybody's agenda. And so I know that we will be supported by the universe and by our highest self when we step into action. So I guess today is meant to encourage everybody who's listening to step into their fullest, highest potential and really ask yourself tonight when you go to sleep, what is the next best steps that we can take to finally do that which we feel we should. And so, yeah, that's what I have for tonight. And I'll be back on here tomorrow. I'm exercising I'm exercising my will. I'm exercising my faith. I'm exercising my courage, and I'm doing the things that feel very unnatural for me. And I'm stepping out of silence and into my heart space of love. And yeah, I'll come back on here tomorrow. And I hope you all have a good night. Bye.